Well, today we're up on Jeff's claim. Decided to be a little bit on the lazy side. Jeff's got a nice claim, and it's not a bad hike in here at all. What I want to show you today is how to open a crevice, how to get the rocks out, and how to work a crevice. I've on the previous videos I showed how to find the crevice. On this one I want to work on how to actually break the crevice open and work it. So hopefully we'll have a little fun today and find some gold. Okay, now the crevice I want to work is right here. There's a big boulder up here. I'm going to climb up on that boulder and give you an aerial shot. And this is not an ideal crevice for finding gold. It is a good crevice to show you what I want to show you. Hopefully there will be some gold in there. I'm sure we can find some plug gold in there. But it's in a spot on the river where the river first widens out after coming through a very narrow gorge. So like I say, it's not a good spot to find big gold. It is a good spot to find some fine gold, but it's a real good spot to demonstrate how to work the crevice. So that's why we picked this one. So let's get up on that rock and I'll give you an aerial view of it. Okay, this is the crevice I wanna work today. I'm giving you an aerial view here. I picked this crevice because there's a large boulder I'm standing on above it. And what I want to show you here, if this will work, this right here is bedrock. This is all bedrock. This over here is bedrock. These are boulders. This is a boulder right here that's jammed in there. And this is all gravel and boulders. Now let me zoom this thing in a little bit. Okay, now what we're going to do is we don't really care about this area because the flow of the river will blast this area out. Where we're concerned with is behind this bedrock, this area right in here. That's the area we want to search out because that's the area that's not going to get blown clean. Problem is this area is with the flow of the river and it can get blown clean, but the gold can be blown up here and circle around and drop behind this bedrock where it's protected. So this is the area you want to look. So let's head on down there and we'll start opening that crevice up. Okay, this right in here is the area we're interested in. Now you're just going to have gravel sitting on top, and then you're going to have some that's just packed in here. So to begin with, we want to just huck all this big stuff off the top. I think I'm going to stop at this point and put my gloves on. Okay, we got our gloves on. You'll notice these are bright red. I like this style of glove because especially when you're working with somebody else, they can see where your hands are. That way you don't get a rock, your buddy doesn't drop a rock on your hand. Now all this loose gravel, all this stuff on the surface, you can just pick it all up, throw it in the pan. The sand on top, don't worry about it. There's no gold in the stuff on the surface. You want to get all this stuff out of your way, so just dig it out and just huck it. It's just overburden and there's no gold in it. Okay, I'm going to work on this for a bit until we get it down to where there's some gold. Okay, we got this pretty much cleaned down. Now we're going to start, once you get to where the rocks are packed, you can't move them, that's when we want to stop just throwing our gravel away. Because now we can start finding fine gold. Now what you got to do is take your bar and break these rocks loose. You start at the back and work forward. If you try to start at the front up here breaking them loose, it's just a lot harder. The way the river lays them down, you're better off starting at the rear and working forward. And a good bar is a big help. Once we get these broke loose, that one's a little bigger than I figured to be. But that's good. Big boulders, big gold. Now, I've got a nice hole opened up here. So what I'm going to do, break this gravel up towards the front of the hole, and you just pull it back, and then you move it around in here in the low point, which will allow any fine gold to settle out, and the larger rocks you just rake off the top. And you just keep doing that until you get down to the point to where you got just your finer stuff. Now we're getting to the point now to where we want to sample. So what I'm going to do, throw the pan in here, take a crevice tool. Now this is where our gold is going to be concentrated, right along in here. And right there, I see some rust, which is a real good sign. Yeah, there's some rust right there. So that's real good. That means the heavies are dropping in here. And we want to just dig that out. And that's going to give us a good idea of if we're going to find gold in here or not. Now this part of the crevice right here has got sharp edges, and you got heavy material packed in there, so that's a real good sign. You got rocks that are just, I mean, they're really packed in there. So that's what you look for. If they're not packed in there, that means one of two things. The flow is not sufficient to pack the gravel, so there's going to be no gold there. Or the other thing, it could be somebody's been there before you. So if the gravel's not packed hard, you may be wasting your time. You might want to find a better crevice. So I'm going to dig this out a little bit, and then we'll take it down and pan it and see what we got. Okay, we did find a couple of small pieces of gold, which is a really good thing since we're right on the top of the gravel. We still got quite a ways to go. Let me get up here a little closer so I can show you this gold. Yeah, I don't know if you can see this here, but we have 3 or 4 really fine pieces of gold right here. So nothing to write home about, but hey, we're going home with gold no matter what we do now. Okay, what we're going to do at this point is we're going to go ahead and dig this crevice on down. Now we know we're into the point on the gravel where the fine gold is, so we can no longer discard any of the sand and the small gravel. Rocks and all that, yeah, we can keep chucking those, but all the sand and the smaller gravel, we want to take and throw that in the pan, because we could have fine gold in it anywhere now. So let's get to digging. Okay, what we're going to do at this point now is we got to remove all this material in here. We're not concerned about this stuff up here. We want to follow this crack that's running down here. This crack is what's going to hold our gold. You know, we have a rock right here in the way, so I'm going to start digging all this out of here. And like I say, the sand goes in the pan, the rocks go back in the river. Okay, as you can see, this crevice is quite a bit deeper now. You know, when we started, we were up on this line. We're down here, but see how the bedrock now is all the way around. We got a little pocket developing here. Well, we want to clean this crack all the way down, and this gravel right here is going to be where our gold is. This is what we're after. This stuff back here and up here really won't have anything in it. You want to keep on the bedrock back in here where the water would be dead water. So let's do a little more digging and see if we can loosen this stuff up. I'm going to just keep digging down. That bedrock is coming together. That's a good thing where it bottoms out. That's what we're after. Now this gravel here, want to be careful to make sure we save all this gravel. And then want to make sure to clean this crevice here. This is what's going to have our little nugget, so we just keep cleaning that. Get every rock out of it. And that material will just dump down to the bottom of the hole here, and we'll just pick it up as we go along. But we want to make sure we got everything out of that crack, because that's the most important part right there. I'm going to dig this out a little more, take it down and pan it, and see how we're doing. Okay, I don't know how well the camera is showing this, but this is the point right here on the crevice that we started, and we've worked this thing all the way down to the very bottom. Right in here is a low point. We've got everything cleaned out. So at this point, we're going to move up to here and move over onto the front side of this crevice. Now we have a lot of real hard packed in gravel here. So we're going to show you how to knock that out of there. Okay, what we're going to do, our pan isn't quite full. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean that other part of the crevice out, the top part, and we'll throw that on top of the pan, then we'll take it all down and pan it out and see how we're doing. Okay, let's start working on that top part. The tools we're going to need for this, we're going to knock these rocks out of here. Tools you're going to need is going to be a good hammer, a small chisel, maybe a pry bar, and a crevice tool. So what I normally do, and you have to be careful, you knock the rocks you can loose with the hammer. And then you take your crevice tool, and the ones that you can get loose, you just flip out. Okay, the ones that won't move, like this one up here, just take your chisel, put in there, and it doesn't take much, and it'll come loose. And then you just, once it wiggles, you know you can get it out. And this one down here is wiggling, we'll just pry it out with the crevice tool. Okay, now, down here in the bottom part, we want to clean this off down here. And move that camera down so you can see what I'm talking about. Down in here, we have kind of a low spot. This is what we're going to use to gather our gravel. So we'll take this area up here and just kind of pull all this material back down into that low spot. And these rocks are really packed in here, which is good. Because if they're not packed in tight, that means there's not a good flow, or it means somebody else has been in here before you. But if the rock wiggles, you can get it out with your crevice tool. If it doesn't wiggle, you have to use your hammer. And either the bar, which works really well, put it in there until you get that thing to wiggle. Like that one's really in there. Okay, we got it wiggling now. Okay, once you get it to wiggle, you can get it out with the crevice tool. Okay, then we're going to just keep pulling all this material back into that low spot. And make sure you don't pull on it too hard so you send it flying. Okay, I'm going to keep working this until I get it down. Okay, now I don't think the camera is showing it very well, but down in here I have a rock that's packed in tight and I can't get it loose with the crevice tool. So what I do is you take your bar or your chisel, get down on there and just break the rock. Just beat on it until you break it all up. Then it's about the only way you can get it out of there. Then once it's broke up, you can just bring her out in pieces. And then you can continue on down. Because you got to get to the very, very bottom. That's where the gold is. The gold will be all the way down on the bedrock where it can't go any further. Okay, we'll just keep working on it. Okay, you can see we have this crevice pretty much cleaned out all the way down the bottom. And if you're able to, you can even blow in there. And if you got any fine pieces of gold down there, they'll sit there and the dust will blow away. So what we're going to do now is we'll just pick up all this gravel we put down here, throw it in the pan, and then we're going to take it down and pan it out. When we clean this gravel up though, you want to make sure you get every bit of that gravel, because the gold could be in there anywhere. So we'll sweep all that up, we'll get that cleaned up, put it in the pan, then we'll take it down and pan it out and see how we did. Now when you're up where it's dry and you got the real dry gravel like this, you want to make sure that you get that completely and totally wet before you start panning. You don't want any of that dry stuff floating out because it could be carrying that fine gold with it. Then put that stuff in there, get it washed down. I like to get the top off, get it clean so I can see what I'm doing. And before I do much real panning, I just keep working that gravel to try to get it clean, because I like to see what I'm panning. And when you're up like that, up out of the water like that, your gravel will put out a lot of dirt. Okay, now we're down to where we can see what we're doing, so let's pan this out and see how we did. That crevice had a rough bottom, which is a good thing. You like a rough bottom crevice because that means the river hasn't worked it. If you have a smooth bottom, that means the water's been flowing through there, so it doesn't give the gold a lot of time to build up. And all you're going to find in those crevices is the stuff that's had a few years to build up, to where the crevices with the rough bottom, well, they've been building up for, you know, thousands of years. Well, I can see a piece of gold right there. All right, get it down, let's see what we got. Oh man, we did good. I don't know how well that's showing that. We got quite a bit of gold there. We got some nice pieces of gold. I get that camera to focus. There we go. Yeah, we got some nice pieces of gold in there. Get that cleaned up a little bit more. Nice chunky gold. All right. Well, I'm calling today a pretty successful day. We found some real nice gold working that crevice. And I grant you, it took several hours. Working a crevice is not a real fast process, because you got to be real diligent about getting every little piece of gravel out of the bottom of that crevice. But we are going home with some gold, and I'm thinking some pretty nice gold. Now the harder thing about what we did today is I'm going to have to figure out how to keep Jeff from watching this video, because he's going to want his cut since I'm on his claim. Now, if you enjoy the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that way when I do more videos you'll know about it. And it's getting kind of late, so I'm going to pack up and head on back to the truck, because I got a nice cold drink at the truck and I'm real thirsty. So until then, you have a wonderful day. Okay, let's take a look and see how much we got. That's 0.75 or 0.73 pennyweight, or 1.16 grams. Not too shabby. Well, we had us a pretty successful day today. Found some nice chunky pieces of gold. I'm thinking the hardest thing I got to do is